We investigate Vulture Mine, Colchester Castle, Eastern State Penitentiary, Viaduct Tavern.
This is going to seem very jarring to you.
Alien abduction.
The possibility that aliens exist is very likely.
Well, I'm gonna get into it now. This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we examine 3 of the most compelling cases of alien abduction, at least in my opinion.
I mean, the possibility that aliens exist is very likely. I don't know if I believe most of what you're about to say.
I just don't understand how you could believe in aliens, but then just not, believe in the prospect that they could maybe kind of, poke around a little bit. Put a little rod up your butthole, stuff like that.
I don't know. I don't think they're here.
Okay.
That's it.
Well, I'm gonna get into it now. Here we go.
The first case is the abduction of Travis Walton. On Wednesday, November 5th, 1975, Travis Walton was working in a 7-man tree thinning crew in Apache Sitgreaves National Forest near Heber, Arizona. At the end of the day, on the drive back home, Travis noticed a bright light coming through the trees. When the men got closer, they saw that it was, quote, a strange golden disc, end quote, hovering stationary about 20 feet off the ground, with a 15 to 20 foot diameter and 8 to 10 foot width. Though his co-workers warned that he should stay away, Travis approached the craft, hearing loud vibrations as the craft began spinning erratically. Suddenly, a blue-green light sprung from the craft, striking Travis in the chest and head, catapulting him backwards several feet.
Do you think Travis was me in this situation?
No. Oh, yeah. Travis is the guy who dies first in a scary movie.
Yeah, because in that situation, I probably would walk toward it, and then that'd be the end of me.
What would your thought be as you walk towards this extremely bright light through the trees?
Like, get a load of this shit.
That's the last thought you'd have in your head?
I'd probably be curious. I'd walk toward it.
What would make you curious enough to walk towards it? Because you have a scientific mind. You see this bright light coming through the trees. What do you think it is at first glance?
Aurora Borealis or something?
You would be the best person to get abducted.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The aliens would get tired of me. They'd kick me off.
You'd be like, oh, good costumes.
Yeah.
Travis remembers, quote, all I felt was the numbing force of a blow that felt like a high voltage electrocution. My mind sank quickly into unfeeling blackness, end quote. Having witnessed this, Travis's friends fled the scene, assuming Travis to be dead.
Aren't these like burly lumberjacks? What are they afraid of?
I mean, I would be afraid of a giant spinning disc that shocked my friend.
It sounds like kind of a funny image when you think of it, though.
A bunch of scared lumberjacks.
No, you're like your big burly friend being like, no, check it out. And then just, and then everybody just running.
His eyeballs pop out.
Yeah, just smoking.
In their retreat, one of the men observed the saucer fly up to the top of the trees and away to the northeast. Some of the men returned to the scene out of guilt, only to find that Travis was no longer there.
So they went back for him. Mm-hmm. It took them a day to come to their senses, but if you see some crazy shit, your impulse is to run, at least a normal person's impulse is to run.
Just bring a gun.
Sure, okay, let's pretend they had guns.
Yeah.
There's a giant hovering disc that's spinning at top speed
and shot with your fucking gun.
And shot a bolt of lightning through a man's chest, and your solution is to shoot at it with a pistol?
Better than standing there and let it shock you and poop your pants.
How about
fall.
run? What they did.
Huh?
This is why you would die first in a movie. So basically what we just went over was the experience as witnessed by all these men. Mm-hmm. Now, let's board the train to Crazy Town and go into Travis's recollection of what happened when he woke up. And this is only his recollection.
Before we get into this, is there anything we need to know about Travis?
No.
Okay.
Normal dude.
Normal dude.
According to Travis's own writing about the experience, Travis awoke in what appeared to be a medical office or lab with a triangular ceiling among 3 humanoid beings with large brown eyes and abnormally large heads. They stood under 5 feet tall and were wearing soft, billowy orange-brown overalls.
What? They're like minions?
Yeah, I guess they're like minions.
No, I'm just gonna imagine this guy being operated on by minions.
Travis attacked the 3 beings, who then retreated. As Travis explored other rooms in an attempt to escape, he encountered a large, muscular man wearing a helmet, who forced him out of the craft into a warehouse with other saucers, eventually leading him into another room with 3 more people, all very good looking. quote, 2 men and a woman were standing around the table. They were all wearing velvety blue uniforms like the first man's, except that they had no helmets. The 2 men had the same muscularity and the same masculine good looks as the first man. The woman also had a face and figure that was the epitome of her gender. They were smooth-skinned and blemishless. No moles, freckles, wrinkles, or scars marked their skin.
This guy sounds a little bit creepy right now. Because you'd think if you were on a spaceship, internalizing a lot of information right now, you know, you're surrounded by aliens, suddenly you see other people and you're not like, you don't go up to them and say, hey, what the fuck is going on? Instead, you're looking at them going, no blemishes.
No, I'm just...
Smooth, like porcelain.
I'm imagining...
The epitome of her gender.
I'm imagining...
Oh.
It's creepy.
The striking good looks of the man I had first met became more obvious on seeing them all together. They shared a family-like resemblance, although they were not identical. End quote. These people gently pushed him onto a table and put a mask over his mouth and nose, at which point Travis passed out. The next thing Travis knew, he was lying on the ground in Heber, Arizona. He saw a silvery disc-shaped craft hovering above the road near him, which then flew straight up into the sky and disappeared silently. Although he only believed he was gone for an hour or an hour and a half, he later learned he had been missing for 5 days. Over this period of 5 days, the rest of Travis's crew came under investigation for Travis's disappearance. During this investigation, the suspects underwent psychiatric testing and polygraphs, during which none of the men confessed to faking the abduction. All of the later lie detector tests administered to Travis and the other witnesses came back as passing or inconclusive. A psychiatrist suspected that the entire abduction was in Travis's imagination, but could not explain why the others went along with it. In a recent HuffPost Weird News podcast, Travis said, quote, about 15 years later, it was discovered that the trees nearest to where the UFO hovered had been producing wood fiber at 36 times the rate it had been in the 85 years before that. A complete core sampling revealed that this thickened growth was only on the side of the trees towards or in the direction that the craft had been, end quote. As if this case couldn't get any more bizarre, Travis appeared on Fox's Moment of Truth game show, where a polygraph was conducted on stage. This particular polygraph determined that he was not telling the truth about his abduction. Regardless, Travis maintains that the events transpired as he has told them.
His polygraph and all the witnesses' polygraphs that were taken earlier in an official place were all passing or inconclusive. So that's what matters to me. I think this game show thing doesn't really prove shit.
Is he still alive?
He's still alive.
Can't we just, wow. Anytime anyone has inconclusive evidence about a polygraph like that, just bring him back in. How hard is that?
I suppose.
Where you at, Travis? Where you at?
You want him to tell you about the orange billoway uniform?
I want to hear about
overalls?
it. I want to ask him why he was so obsessed with their skin.
What was the fabric like? Was it denim?
It was a fine lame.
The second case is the abduction of Linda Napolitano. UFOologist Bud Hopkins worked closely with Linda to document and publicize her case. On November 30th, 1989, around 3:15 a.m. in New York City, Linda Napolitano claimed she awoke to find short aliens around her bed. She found herself unable to wake up her husband as she perceived the beings to be telling her to be quiet in an odd language. The 3 beings then levitated her outside her 12th-story apartment window, floating in a blue-white light up into a clamshell-shaped spaceship.
Okay, wait, hang on a sec though. Let's pause. She thought they were telling her to be quiet. Mm-hmm. Was she scared? Is this why she just went with it?
I'm gonna assume that there must be some kind of calming influence to them.
Okay.
Like, I don't think they would just go into, like, you don't break into someone's house and go,
Right, without that person going, what the fuck?
I know, especially if you look like a minion.
Once inside, the beings experimented on her, including putting an instrument inside her nose. After, she woke up nearly 2 hours later at 5 a.m., next to her husband in bed. In 1991, 2 years after the abduction, Linda reached out to Hopkins with an X-ray of her nose showing a cylindrical object that Hopkins describes as having, quote, spiraling extensions that curl out away from her face, end quote. The X-ray was taken by podiatric surgeon and Linda's niece, Lisa Bayer. Shortly after, Linda claimed the object was removed during another abduction. Hopkins reports that Linda visited a nose and throat specialist who confirmed the object was gone. A conspicuous ridge of built-up cartilage showed where it had once been embedded.
I don't like nose stuff.
Neither do I. If we captured an alien, the first thing we would do is try to figure out their anatomy. We would say, okay, what's this hole do?
I feel like you'd at least try
shit,
to
that's his
talk
pee
to
hole.
it or observe it and not just shove shit into its holes.
I mean, in science, there's a certain amount of guess and check, and that may mean you accidentally stick your finger in a butthole or two. That's science.
They also have small fingers, right?
I'm sure they have
small but long.
E.T. had a long finger, so he could get some distance and he could go way up into that butthole.
E.T. would be a good doctor.
He would be. Ouch.
These details are somewhat common among abduction tales, but what makes this case famous are the supposed witnesses to the event. In 1991, nearly 2 years after Linda's abduction, Hopkins received a letter from a police officer detailing an experience with his partner in November 1989. The two were sitting underneath the FDR Bridge when they saw a blue light with a woman being levitated alongside 3 strange beings as they made their way into the light. They reportedly felt guilty for not helping the woman, and one officer had a nervous breakdown, spending nights parked underneath her building.
They're cops!
Okay.
Take out your guns and start shooting the light. And if you can't hit the light, then shoot the lady in the head, because obviously you don't want her to go out of outer space.
You'd be the worst diplomat when it comes to alien-human relations. Every fucking solution you've offered is shoot at them with their gun.
What do you want? We shoot at people if they're in a no-fly zone. You know, we'll shoot down a plane if it's unidentified and it's not supposed to be somewhere. Sure.
Not every fucking alien interaction is Independence Day. Sometimes it could be like E.T. What if they just want to come and have a beautiful relationship with a little boy named Elliot?
Didn't even Carl Sagan? Didn't he say?
Oh my God! Again with the fucking Carl
I'm just
Sagan.
thinking. He said if aliens ever come here, it's not going to be pretty.
Hopkins told Linda not to speak with the officers if they reached out to her to avoid contaminating their accounts. Unfortunately, the two visited Linda multiple times on their own volition, revealing their names to be Richard and Dan, looking for answers about what they saw that night. Linda directed them to Hopkins, and in a few weeks, Hopkins received a letter. This letter revealed that the two officers were actually bodyguards on a security detail for, quote, an important political figure, end quote. This political figure, who was also present with the two bodyguards during the abduction, also signed the letter, albeit under the moniker him. Some UFOologists believe this figure is the former Secretary General of the UN, Javier Perez de Quelar. However, while this seems impressive in terms of proof, it should be noted that Hopkins never physically met with Richard and Dan, and only corresponded via letters. This has led many to believe that Hopkins was the victim of a hoax, where either Linda made up Richard and Dan alone, or Linda and a group of people coordinated to complete the hoax.
Do we have records of these people being real?
I mean, like, I haven't seen those records.
You haven't seen those records.
But that's because it's to protect their identity.
Why are they so nervous about their identity?
Because it's embarrassing, and if they found...
So they could put a rest,
They tried to get the political figure to confess. They couldn't, because obviously he'd be mocked forever if he said, I saw a lady floating out of a 12th-story window in a blue light. Like, that obviously does not sound like something you'd want from a political figure, a man making important decisions.
One takedown of the story in the book The Trickster and the Paranormal cites a person who formerly served in dignitary protective services, who explained that details of the night of the abduction provided by Richard and Dan didn't line up with security protocol for moving officials.
Womp womp.
I mean, take that for what it is.
Okay.
Also, I don't imagine that security protocol for moving officials has like a fucking like page or two dedicated to what happens if an alien ship lands above you.
But at this level, you'd think they would be professionals, right?
It's an alien!
Still, according to Sean F. Mears, a UFO and alien abduction researcher who worked with Hopkins, there are 23 witnesses on the public record, ranging from family and friends to complete strangers. 3 of these strangers worked at the nearby New York Post, one of whom was an investigative reporter named Steve Dunleavy. Despite the questioned credibility of the 2 main witnesses, Linda maintains the truth lies in all the witnesses. She has said, quote, if I was hallucinating, then the witnesses saw my hallucination. That sounds crazier than the whole abduction phenomenon, end quote.
There were a lot of witnesses.
It's juicy.
I'm just saying, her quote makes sense to me.
Yeah. This one, I would buy this over.
Travis Walton.
Yeah.
And other, like Allagash and all that shit.
Yeah.
The third case is the abduction of Frederick Valentich. This case is a little different from the others in that the abducted person never returned. On October 21st, 1978, at 6:19 p.m., instructor pilot Frederick Valentich began the flight from Moorabbin Airport in Victoria, Australia to King Island, Tasmania, over the Bass Strait in a Cessna 182L. His destination was only about an hour away. Visibility was good, and there were only light winds. Valentich, 20 years old at the time, reportedly wanted to get more flight hours in. Valentich made contact with Steve Roby at Air Traffic Control in Melbourne between 7:06 and 7:12 p.m. During the transmission, Valentich asked whether there was any known aircraft in his area. After Air Traffic Control said there was not, Valentich claimed a large unknown aircraft was flying about 1,000 feet above him at a fast speed with 4 bright lights. Valentich then reportedly said, quote, "It seems to be playing some sort of game. He's flying over me. It's not an aircraft," end quote.
What does he mean by it's not an aircraft?
It didn't look like any aircraft he'd ever seen before.
Okay.
Pretty.
Oh, he's saying like it doesn't look like an airplane?
Yeah, I mean, like he's also probably not thinking through his words right now. He's seeing a fucking alien ship.
You always
above
go
him.
with this. They're not thinking about their words.
Because they're not. There's an alien in front of you. You're not going to be the most well-spoken you've ever been in front of an alien.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
He continued to describe the craft, saying, quote, "It seems like it's stationary. What I'm doing right now is orbiting, and the thing is just orbiting on top of me. Also, it's got a green light and sort of metallic. It's shiny on the outside. It's just vanished," end quote. His last message around 7:12 p.m. to Air Traffic Control was, quote, "Melbourne, that strange aircraft is hovering on top of me again. It is hovering, and it's not an aircraft," end quote. After 17 seconds of silence, there was a loud sound of metal scraping. Authorities are said to have searched the area for 4 days, but found nothing, and Valentich was never seen again.
What do you think of the 17 seconds of silence and then just metal sounds?
I love it.
It's horrifying.
It's great.
It's honestly, like, reading that gave me chills.
Yeah, it's good.
So wait a second, I'm just confused because normally at this point, I'm used to wanting to rip your head off. But right now, we are in agreement that this is pretty plausible.
I think I'm just very discerning with my abduction stories. Like I said, I do believe in aliens, but I don't believe that most people, I'm not buying a lot of the encounters that people describe, because a lot of times they don't,
It's,
it seems like they're either trying to cash in or they're just insane. But this, I don't know.
what are you cashing in for if you disappear
What do you
forever?
cash in for if you disappear forever?
In May 1982, the Aircraft Accident Investigation Summary's cause of the accident read, quote, "The reason for the disappearance of the aircraft has not been determined," end quote. A. Woodward, the man who signed off on the report, offered pure, unfiltered speculation that Valentich could have been disoriented, suicidal, or even the victim of a meteorite crash.
Meteorites don't hover over.
It wasn't an alien, he got hit by a meteor.
There's a big fireball, I see it.
No, what the fuck? You don't disprove something that's unbelievable by something that's even more unbelievable. Also, we would have records of a meteorite crashing and hitting the fucking Earth.
One alternate theory comes from a feature story in a 2013 issue of Skeptical Inquirer. The story mentions that Valentich was inexperienced as a pilot and had supposedly been cited twice for deliberately flying blind into a cloud. According to another source, Valentich was reportedly fascinated with UFOs and even had a UFO scrapbook with him when he disappeared.
Okay, never mind.
Oh, here I was waiting for the other shoe to drop.
This is what happened. This has happened a couple other times. in
Yeah,
these.
yeah.
You always present a very, you get the case presented in a way that makes me say, all right,
There's strong rhetoric to
not
build
bad.
up to that, right?
Yeah, you do a pretty good job of that. And then you throw something like this in, like, he was obsessed with UFOs
Okay,
and wrote
he was-
fan fiction about himself dying at the hand of a UFO.
I did not say that. I said reportedly fascinated with UFOs.
The publication Skeptical Inquirer posits that Valentich's experience was some mixture of wanting to see something, being easily led to believe that anything he didn't recognize was a UFO, becoming disoriented, and or mistaking stars and the Cessna's own lights as lights from another object.
They discredit him a fair amount.
I don't think
Not
so.
entirely. I still find it convincing. I mean, I find it intriguing because the plane UFO encounters are always the most convincing to me.
However, it should be mentioned that other sources contest that Valentich was an experienced pilot. It's also worth noting that the Cessna 182 planes were designed to float in the case of a water landing. Historian Reg Watson has also found numerous reports of UFO sightings, including reports of cigar-shaped lights seen near King Island, Australia, for 2 months prior to Valentich's disappearance. A farmer allegedly saw a craft flying over his land near Adelaide the morning after Valentich vanished. He claimed that Valentich's plane was stuck to the side of the craft. Furthermore, one of the last pieces of information on record was Valentich reaching Cape Otway at 7 p.m. Here's a photograph taken off Cape Otway 20 minutes before Valentich vanished that shows a strange shape in the sky.
Let's see the picture.
All right. Here we go. Right there. See?
What are we looking at here?
That's the sky, and that's the weird object. If this is legit, this corroborates.
But
the
this also
timeline.
doesn't look like a UFO either, does it?
Well, we don't really know what a UFO looks like, do we?
Looks like some like God spit out his gum.
Sure, but you saying this doesn't really look like a UFO is exactly the same thing as saying like, oh, this doesn't look like a lava monster.
But you
because
just
we don't know what a lava monster looks like. We don't know what a UFO looks like. They're apparently made up. So until we see definitive proof, I think that this is a very strong case that this happened.
And you're welcome to think that.
Oh my God.
That's fine.
Ultimately, nobody can say for sure if aliens are real, let alone alien abductions. Until we procure solid physical evidence beyond eyewitness testimony, the lore behind aliens and abduction will likely remain just that, lore. Hopefully one day we'll have a definitive answer, but for now, whether or not aliens abduct humans will remain unsolved.
Can you at least say that you have some sort of ambivalence to this?
I will say that there is a possibility that some of these have a shred of truth to them.
All right, get out. That's not what it sounds like.
Yeah. Ah, my butthole!
Ouch. So this is Vulture Mine.
Yeah.
The shafts don't exist anymore because they're either collapsed or condemned. You don't want a rock to fall on your head, but as you can see, the bones of the ghost town that surrounded the mine and were funded by it still remain.
You've really outdone yourself this season.
Yeah, I just kind of looked into places that would make me want to die, and I think this checks that box.
Yeah, it's pretty imposing. I think you nailed it.
It's gross.
Come on.
Okay. Come on. This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we investigate Vulture Mine and its surrounding ghost town in Wickenburg, Arizona, as part of our ongoing investigation into the question, are ghosts real? Shane, you've always told me that in a fantasy world where ghosts exist, your words, not mine,
Fantasy, yes.
that the only place that would be haunted is a mine. So,
Yeah. Seems like a lot of misery, a lot of suffering, and people get trapped in them. So if ghosts were real, I would put my money on mine.
Okay, well, I mean, maybe tonight you'll get lucky then. Season premiere, we're gonna look around this disgusting, did I just blind you?
Right, man.
Good. It'll give you the vision. Okay. We got a car back there, we got some bushes. I can't think of a better way to kick off the season, right?
Great. Just don't shine your light in my face. What was that? Stop it.
Let's get into it.
In 1863, a prospector named Henry Wickenburg found a quartz deposit with gold in Arizona's desolate Sonoran Desert and founded Vulture Mine. The mine quickly became Arizona's most successful gold mine. Imagine, if you will, a mine so rich that between 1863 and 1942, it produced over 340,000 ounces of gold and 260,000 ounces of silver. To put that into perspective, the gold alone would be valued today at a shade over $430 million.
Ooh, you could do a lot with that.
Yeah,
right?
that's safe to say.
I guess I didn't realize that places were actually flush with gold.
Yeah.
I thought one person would show up, find a pound of gold, and then 500 other people would come and be sad.
No, these hills were literally leaking gold. And it was just there for the taking.
It's the only reason I would have wanted to be alive back then. Just so I could plunder metals.
The mine was so lucrative that an accompanying mining settlement called Vulture City was built in 1866 to meet the needs of the many new miners, with a population of as many as 5,000 residents. That's a lot for back then. I know that seems like a small number.
Here it is, yeah.
But for here, that's overflowing.
A boom town.
Just
Can you
stood in the
imagine
street.
just being in a town full of people who just do what you do?
That just love gold.
Yeah.
They're there for greed, essentially. This was a town
What are you
running-
here for? I love gold. I love gold too. I love gold as well.
Yeah,
That's everyone.
That's everyone in the town.
By the 1890s, there was a serious downturn in the mine's productivity. However, it wasn't until the outbreak of World War II that mines not essential to the war effort were shut down, ultimately forcing Vulture Mine to close. This once booming city of gold now sits vacant as a ghost town, collecting only cobwebs and dust. Eerily, skeletons of the town still remain. Dilapidated buildings and leftover landmarks of tragedy are said to be haunted by those who never left.
So this is the old ghost town. Part
Looks
of Vulture
ghostly.
City. There's the assay building.
What's up here?
That's the bordello.
Ooh.
That's the hanging tree right there.
The area in general has reports of disembodied voices, cold spots, spirit orbs, and apparitions. That being said,
Take a drink.
There it is. Whoever's playing the Unsolved drinking game, that being said, I'm gonna get you all tanked this episode.
that being said, let's go over the highly active locations of this abandoned city. The first place we'll visit is the old generator room, a dingy warehouse that once powered the entire mining operation. It is here that the current owner of the mine claims a worker met an unfortunate fate.
You don't feel even a little creeped out.
No.
And of course, according to the current owner of this mine, somebody got pulled into this machine and grinded up. I don't really know what this machine does.
It's a people grinder.
It's not a people grinder. I'm sure.
It's a people grinder.
I'm sure it was used to grind, to conduct energy, not to make people into little beef patties.
Talk to us if you're the guy whose guts got all spun around up into the rafters. Anything from you?
What he said.
I didn't like it. It wasn't fun.
Yeah, what do you expect? What insight are you trying to gather from here? All right, if there's anybody in here right now with us that wants to say anything, make a noise. What is that?
What is that?
Who's walking around? What the fuck? Should we go see what it is?
Yeah. Here's a little snake.
A snake with footsteps?
Can you imagine a little snake wrapped around like a little pickaxe? With a little hat on?
You heard those, right? That wasn't me just being crazy.
I mean, I heard metal moving around. I'm not trying to do that whole dismissive thing, but I'm dismissing it.
One last time, we're about to head out of here.
All right, man. You just gotta.
Okay, I just chill. I gotta chill.
You just
I'm
gotta
gonna chill it. I'm gonna chill it.
Chill it.
Vulture Mine is also where the notorious Jacob Waltz, or as he's come to be known, the Lost Dutchman,
Oh, he sure does sound lost. Go on.
The Lost Dutchman likely worked as a foreman for several years. Allegedly, Waltz was one of the worst thieves the mine ever saw. Waltz also claimed to have a secret mine in the Superstition Mountains where he would return with enormous quantities of gold. To this day, nobody has found the location of Waltz's mine, now referred to as the Dutchman's Lost Mine, though some believe the Lost Mine doesn't exist, and that the gold Waltz claimed to find there was merely gold that he stole from Vulture.
Yeah, it was 100%. He's just showing up with pockets full of gold, and people are like,
Where'd you get
"Where'd
that,
you get
Jacob?
that?" I found it out in the hills.
It's from my secret mine. Only I know where it is. Don't check my word.
It only appeals to me at midnight.
Unfortunately, due to deterioration, The actual mining tunnels are no longer safe for entry, but there is one place open for visitors that serves as a massive tombstone to former webs of mining tunnels. This spiritually active area is unfortunately referred to as the Glory Hole.
I thought glory hole used to mean something very innocuous, though.
It was innocuous back then.
Uh-huh.
But this is not, I was about to say, it got that name because penises were No,
It's where the men fucked the earth, hoping to impregnate it with gold.
The Glory Hole is a reported site of great tragedy.
Tell me all about the tragedy, Ryan.
In 1923, this cavern collapsed after one of the stone support pillars was overmined for the valuable ores inside of it.
Wait a minute. They were mining the support beams?
Yeah.
Carl, I don't think you should do that. That's no, there's gold in here, I know it.
Mind your own business. I'm gonna strike it big.
The collapse killed 7 miners and 12 burros, leaving their bodies trapped and undiscovered in the rubble. Former caretaker Marty Hagen believes the collapse occurred because the 7 ill-fated miners were stealing, thus chipping away extra without regulation. He believes part of the reason their bodies remain is due to the fact that they were thieves and a proper burial wasn't high priority.
Just imagine all that we're standing in was just miles of elaborate, complex, intertwining tunnels.
13 miles?
13 miles. And now
That's a lot
just
of time.
all in one fatal swoop gone, burying people down below. That's crazy. That being said, a bug flew up my nose.
Yeah, I think I've swallowed about 6 tablespoons of bugs at this point.
If there's anybody who wants to let their presence be known, say something, move something, maybe even throw something.
Rock slide would be very efficient.
God, I feel like I can't believe I'm provoking these people. It's so silent.
Aside from the bugs in my ears, yes.
Is it true that you stole gold and you were down here when you weren't supposed to be? You took a little bit more than you should have, and that's why you got crushed to death? Ooh, geez, that was
A
pretty
bat flew right behind you just now.
Are you serious?
That bat was straight up going for your ass. It was an ass bat.
All right, well, I think we're gonna leave. Maybe I'll hear you later when I analyze this audio. Or, according to Shane, it'll just be rocks rustling or a rubber shoe pivoting, something stupid like that.
You honestly think we'll get audio of rocks rustling around here? What?
Another paranormal hotspot is the 2-story assay building, once used to produce bars of semi-pure gold and silver. Back in the day, this building contained a vault where these bars and precious metals were kept safe. It's said that the whole city in general was lawless and ran rampant with crime.
I love it. Especially, crime's even better when it just involves bars of gold.
So also one interesting fact about the city that I haven't included is it was ran mostly by vigilante justice.
Oh,
So there was just, people were running amok, stabbing people in the neck.
this is great. I'm a big fan of the West, you know?
Yeah,
Cowboys, Westerns. I like Deadwood on HBO.
It was a lot going. It was action, dancing, gold, smooching.
Dancing.
Dancing, gold, smooching, action. That's all they did back in the day.
Lordy.
Yeah, that sounds like your kind of town, except for the action part.
Yeah, I'm more of a rockin' guy.
You're more of a dancing and smooching kind of guy.
Bring me some gold. Bring
And
me
then-
some smooches.
And then running away from the action.
No action. No.
Even so, the assay building, due to the valuables that it was protecting, was reportedly under constant attack by avaricious bandits hoping to procure the gold inside. While we have no documentation confirming these attacks, one could assume that such a violent area may have resulted in some deaths, perhaps explaining the negative feel reported by visitors to the assay building. People have reported rocks being thrown and dust falling from the ceiling as if someone is above. One investigator captured an EVP of someone saying, "Get out."
Oh, there's a rat. There's a big ass rat.
Where'd he go?
He's behind the tarp.
Ain't that just like a rat?
This is pretty intense. This looks like some kind of kiln of some sort. I'm not sure, but
A furnace, maybe.
yeah.
At this moment, our audio recorder picks up what sounds like a loud whisper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what do you think that is?
Well, I think it's a whisper, but that's also because if you notice, it's going over my voice. Yeah.
It sure is.
I think it's fair to say it's not either of our voices.
Here's the thing, there's so many different noises going on at once here. And then, what, there's a ghost whisper somewhere in this little moment?
Yeah.
And what does it say? It just goes...
I think
That's the message from the great beyond.
Well,
God said, go back to Earth. You're not done yet. I want you to tell them something. Oh, what do you want me to tell them?
Is there anybody in here with us right now?
Other than the rat.
Other than the rat? So this is the storage room. This is where they actually kept all the bars of gold. There's a vault in here somewhere.
Great.
And I imagine this is the room that was under constant attack by bandits.
Maybe there's some leftovers.
I doubt it. Holy moly.
How you feeling, Ryan? Does this
I don't like
place
this.
spook you? Or...
Yeah, I don't like that room.
What don't you like about this room?
Oh, God. Is there anybody in here with us? I feel like there is.
Do you feel someone in here? Oh, there's another rat
Where?
on the ground.
Dead?
No, he's moving around. He's under the wood.
Oh.
Just a heads up.
Right now we are in the living quarters of the assay office. We have a motion light right there. We're gonna ask something to walk near that table. I mean, there's a tripod right there, there's a tripod right there. There's our GoPros, obviously Shayna has a camera. We are the only ones in this building.
Nobody else in the room.
This is gonna be insane. If this turns on, I'm gonna lose my mind. If you're here once again, please step near that table. There's a white box on top of it. Just step near it. This table. Oh, this is making me so sad.
I'm not gonna gloat here because just at a certain point I feel bad for you. But what happened to the thing where you talk to them like you're one of their pals in the era?
Well, like a cowboy accent like this.
Howdy, I'm just here to steal your gold.
You can do me a favor. Take that gold right there on the table.
Didn't take you for a coward.
I guess that's all you are.
I stole your gold and your wife.
Another troublesome landmark at Vulture Mine is the hanging tree that still stands on the property.
I just like that they found one good tree and they were like, that's the one.
This one's sturdy.
We're gonna use that over and over.
It's not doing anything else besides casting shade. Not throwing shade, but casting shade.
Do you think people felt bad catching shade from that tree on a sunny day?
I can't imagine they picnicked under the hanging tree, especially because a lot of times they just left the body hanging there.
What?
Anyways, moving on.
In fact, some believe that Henry Wickenburg, who at the end of his life declined in both health and wealth, committed suicide by gunshot near this tree. Either way, the remains of Wickenburg's personal cabin still sit by this tree. But as the name would suggest, this tree held a much more ominous purpose. According to legend, as many as 18 miners were hung from this very tree between the 1860s to about 1900, the crime being stealing. It's said that hangings at this time were particularly brutal, due to the fact that the condemned person was set on a rock, which was then kicked out from under him. Using this method, the amount of time it would take to die/suffocate could take between 2 minutes and 2 hours.
Oh, no neck snapping, huh?
No, they would just sit there on their tippy toes, and eventually they would get tired, and they
That's
would
rude.
slowly suffocate. Yeah, I know.
You
it's
just
very-
want to just be a gentleman. If you're gonna hang someone, be a gentleman about
well, also
it.
don't steal. You want to dance with the devil, you gotta live with it when he sets you on fire.
Okay. You can embroider that on a pillow or something?
No.
It's a very, it's like an old maxim.
I don't think that's actually, I just made that up.
Oh, very good.
Okay. well,
Very good.
Great.
Even more horrifying, they apparently wouldn't bury the bodies in a cemetery, but instead on site. Some believe there are bodies littered around the area.
I mean, this is a hell of a tree.
I mean, it definitely has character. It looks like a Tim Burton tree.
This looks like one of those Wizard of Oz trees that comes to life and fucks you up.
By the way, this foundation. Was that a bat or was that a bird?
We're in backcountry, buddy.
Fucking, I don't want them flying towards my face all the time. Jesus. This is Wickenburg's house right here. The man himself, the guy who pretty much died in the streets. Why don't we just reach out right here, in between the hanging tree and Wickenburg's house? Kill 2 birds with one stone.
I do like that his home was right by the tree. He was like, well, we'll hang these men right outside my bedroom window.
He probably likes sipping on a little cup of tea, watching them kick to their death. And that's what you get, stealing from our minds.
Jesus. Maybe this guy did deserve to die in the streets.
Yeah. All right, there's anybody here right now, whether it be Henry or any of the 18 anonymous who hanged from this tree. Oh, I got a sudden hint of bravery right now.
Use it. Please take advantage of this moment.
I'm feeling brave right now.
Put him in his place.
Yeah, show yourself. If there was actually 18 people who met their death at this spot, show yourself. Oh, it's just the camera hitting the branches. I immediately lost all the courage I had as soon as I heard a noise.
He thinks you're cowards.
I retract that.
Thieves.
I was in a moment of, I think it's a little hot out here. I got a little bit of heat stroke.
Scoundrel!
Arguably the most active area on the property is the old schoolhouse, used to educate the children of the miners. People have reported seeing a dark figure and hearing children's laughter. In one instance, an investigator was physically attacked by being pushed. Rumor has it that near the schoolhouse, there is a mass grave of children who died of the plague, feeding the spiritual activity within the house.
So what's the factual basis behind the plague? What plague?
I don't know. There's no records, all right? You know, sometimes...
What plague? What, did a teacher just like open up her mouth and flies came out? And...
I don't know. It says, rumor has it, there's a mass
A lot
grave.
of rumors in this one, huh?
They're trying to figure out why this house is so active, full of school children.
Yeah.
And rumor is there's a mass grave, and that's all I could offer.
So when you read something like that, are you going to be scared tonight to go over there?
Yeah, I'm gonna be scared. I'm scared sitting here. I got scared by rain.
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
This is the main room. I'm guessing this is where the kids were taught. There's a chalkboard. They will come for you. I heart ghost kids.
I heard ghost kids.
Now, once again, people hear laughter in here. Some people have even said they think they heard the piano play. God, I hate this whole building.
Oh, this room, huh?
Oh boy,
Not bad.
this is a nightmare.
Look, it says help on the wall.
Oh my God,
What?
it's a fucking dead bird.
What? Oh, that's an omen or something.
Why is there a dead bird in here?
There was probably a live bird in here and then something happened that made it dead.
Oh, great analysis, Doc. Oh Jesus, it's so rotted, its eyes are gone. This is horrifying.
Well, its eyes aren't gonna stick around.
I wonder what's in that closet. Nope, don't even check.
I'll check. What if I open this and 1,000 rattlesnakes jump out?
Then I'm gonna run.
All right. Let's boogie, boys. It's a mattress. And dirt.
As Shane looks inside the door, our audio recorder picks up what sounds like a whisper from a small child.
And dirt. Again, I don't find it compelling. I don't listen to these and outright think I'm gonna deny all of these just because I have to prove a point.
Will
I
you
just
at
don't
least-
find it very compelling.
Will you at least admit that it's more compelling than the other one?
Yeah, it sounds like something being scraped. It sounds like a
Are
scrape.
you kidding? This one sounds like a kid.
That sounds like a kid.
To me it does, like an evil little kid.
On the first day of kindergarten, the teacher goes, "And what's your name?" And the kid says,
What's in this one?
"This is fun because now you have to open this door because I opened that one. What if you pick the wrong one and there's like a clown with a decaying face in there?"
What did you pick the wrong one? There's a fucking clown with a decaying face in there.
Open the door. Stop joking.
What if, okay, I'm running, just letting you know.
There's a lot of glass.
Just a closet, just a closet, just a closet, just.
Don't step on the bird.
All right, we're gonna kill our lights, and when we do,
Hey, by the way, this is growth. You're killing your light without even whining about it or being afraid.
I wanna find some proof.
Okay, cool. Please communicate with us. Here we go.
Oh my God. Okay, if there's anybody here right now, make a noise, move something, I guess touch us if you want.
Touch us.
Shut up, Shane. I think that door's opening. I didn't want to say anything, but it's,
Oh, it is.
it's moving.
Is that upsetting to you?
I think that door's opening. It may be the wind. I'm gonna say it's the wind. If that is you opening the door, please swing it open. Oh God.
It is certainly opening.
Oh my God, I'm getting the chills. Oh my God, I'm freaking out, man. I'm freaking out.
Put your hands on my shoulder. I'll keep my back to you.
God, please.
I don't even need to see you. Open that door wider and wider.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm getting I goose all the hair on my body standing up right now.
Come on, children, push that door open.
Please. Okay, we're leaving now. I'm gonna turn my light back on. Jesus Christ.
I don't know if it was actually opening or if it was just...
Oh, it was opening.
Oh, was it?
My heart is beating so fast. Let me get the fuck out of here.
All right.
To finish this out, let's visit one of the entertainment venues, much like a miner after a long day. One of these venues was a bordello that still stands today. It is here that the spirit of a woman named Mexican Rita is said to exist.
All right, this is the bordello suite. This is where the fellas went to get their carrot waxed, so to speak.
That is not a euphemism.
Oh, it is. Their carrot was shiny.
Let's play a game of bury the corn cob.
Now you see it, now you don't. Ooh, I don't like it in here.
No?
Jokes aside, I kind of hate it in here. Ooh, boy. Oh, holy fucking God damn it, more bats. Jesus Christ, with the bats in this place. Fucking. All right, ready? I'm gonna be silent.
At this moment, our audio recorder picks up a voice, possibly saying, "What?"
Again, it doesn't sound like a voice.
That clear. Okay, what did you think it saw?
It just sounded like us moving around.
We
We
listen
were
to it
both
again.
crouched on the ground, moving around.
Yeah, listen to what word you think this is saying. I think it's pretty clear what it's saying.
I guess I could hear a what.
Thank you. Thank you. That clearly sounds like what to me.
No, it could also be 20 other things. What?
Okay, at least say this. It's more compelling than the other two.
It's the best you've gotten so far. But
Ever?
it also sounds... Yeah, probably.
It's pretty good, right?
Everything else you have is shit.
Shit. Rita, or maybe one of the gents. Henry, if you used to frequent this bordello, or is anybody in here with us? What's your name?
What did you stop in for?
We know what they stopped in for. They came in
Like I
here
want
to...
specifics.
You mean they came in here to get their pickle polished? It's pretty obvious.
I know.
Oh, the bat's back. Maybe let's move to the other room. Oh, there's two rooms. Oh, this must... Okay, so these must be...
Oh, there's more bats.
Oh, wait, there's two bats in here. Oh, there's three! Oh my God!
This is bat country.
Oh, there's so many bats! Oh!
All right, that's it. It's too many bats.
If I left a Yelp review of this place, it would say far too many bats.
Far too many bats. We get it with the bats.
Yeah, 20 too many. One bat's fine. That's kind of cute.
At this point, who are you trying to impress with
But
all
a
the
band
bats?
of bats, come on, man. It's a goddamn party city.
Nobody needs that many bats.
No one can say for certain if the former residents of Vulture Mine haunt this historic site. It was a place of great prosperity, but also violence and tragedy, making it reasonable to expect spiritual artifacts. But whether or not Vulture Mine is definitively haunted will remain unsolved.
Well, there it is. Colchester Castle.
Is this your first castle?
This is my first castle.
Same. It's very imposing from the
This
outside.
is
I do love
truly
it.
an imposing castle. It really is a character in itself. There's a little tree growing on the top of the roof.
My goodness.
Spooky castle, that's every investigator's dream.
Yeah.
And now we're about to live it.
We're turning into Scooby-Doo.
Maybe.
We're just becoming, we need a van with flowers all over it. How does this, I've never entered. You don't knock, do you?
Knock, knock. The boys are here.
Oh.
Ruh-roh. Okay.
Good creek.
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we investigate Colchester Castle in Colchester, England as part of our ongoing investigation into the question, are ghosts real? This castle has a rich history down even to the foundation, so there's no telling how many spirits remain trapped within the walls.
Thousands.
Maybe.
I don't think so.
If you look at the history, that may actually be more on the nose than you thought.
All right, well, we're gonna see 1,000 ghosts tonight. Any less and that's a failure.
Colchester is the oldest recorded town in Britain and Britain's first Roman capital. Colchester is also said to be full of haunted locations, but perhaps sitting atop them all is Colchester Castle. Even as early as the late 1930s, a man decided to spend the night locked in the castle to win a bet of £200. After entering at 8 p.m., only 2 hours later, a person was spotted yelling and waving their arms on the roof of the castle by people on High Street. He was taken to Severall's Hospital after being sedated and reportedly passed away a few months later, having never regained sanity.
Maybe there was some other stuff going on with him. I feel like maybe he ate some moldy bread or something.
You and the moldy bread, that's your number one.
That's what happened to those people
actually,
in
it's
France.
your number, here's Shane's starter kit. If you want to be a Shaniac, here's your
Eat some
starter
moldy
kit.
bread.
You gotta be fond of wind. You gotta love squeaky shoes. Moldy bread.
Sure.
Boom, boom, boom. You're a Shaniac now.
Between the years of 54 AD and 60 AD, the Roman Temple of Claudius was built on the spot that Colchester Castle now stands. Around 61 AD, the temple was sacked, and the town was burnt to the ground by legendary Briton rebel Queen Boudica. Colchester Castle has a vaulted Roman basement that can still be visited today. It is here that some have reported seeing the apparition of a Roman soldier.
All right, down to the vaults we go.
Whoa. Steep.
Yeah, watch your step. This is where they came down, the excavation site.
Really haven't done much with it.
Well, I mean, what do you want? It was a foundation. What do you want them to do?
Put a pool table down here.
Yeah, you want them to turn this into a billiards club?
Something.
A Christmas tree?
A little pinball machine?
Yeah, a jukebox.
No. So, can
Wait,
you... What?
did you hear that?
Did I hear what? So, can
Wait.
you... What?
It's definitely something. I mean, I could.
We have different ideas of things that are definitely something.
Yeah, I think you think. I mean, I could see you saying this is like someone.
That sounds alarmingly similar to what...
Yeah, but none of us are doing that.
Okay.
I'm serious. They came from over there. Oh, not even a little bit of concern on his face.
Hello?
Hello? Anybody down here with us in this creepy little hole? Are we alone? You're an idiot.
There's nothing here.
Yeah, I told you.
I did get spider webs in my hair.
You did, look at you. You look like Dr. Henry Jones.
Hey, another room that looks just like this one.
You look ridiculous with that cobweb in your hair.
It's still in there?
Let me get that out.
Thank you. Did you eat it?
It went in my mouth.
You just tasted history. That's probably been down here for hundreds of years.
Yeah, I know. You could have told me that you had so much in your hair. I thought it was just a cobweb.
I can't see the
There was a
top
whole pile of rubble
I
in your
can't see the
head.
top of my head. I don't know.
No one could see the top of your head except God.
Okay.
Skipping forward a little over 1,000 years, we arrive at the start of construction on Colchester Castle, which lasted 50 years. When completed, it became the largest and first Norman-built great keep. The castle, which is considered one of the 7 man-made wonders in Eastern England, predates even the Tower of London. In fact, Colchester Castle served as the blueprint for the Tower of London. The castle's purpose was twofold. First, to protect against Scandinavian attack by the sea, and second, to monitor and assert power over the town and surrounding land. Skipping ahead to the 1200s, the castle was used as a prison, sometimes for hundreds of prisoners of war, and the conditions were remarkably poor.
So these are the great stairs. Anybody of importance would use this entrance to go see the king, or maybe the king himself would even go up these.
These are the fancy stairs.
The fancy boy stairs.
Oh, we're fancy boys.
We are fancy boys. And look at that. That's a witchcraft symbol. That's to prevent witches, not to conjure them.
I know a lot of accomplished artists here back in the day.
It's on stone. Give them a break. Watch your step. Well, I guess for normal people, these are big steps. For you, these are...
Yeah, you could take your little steps on the inside.
Yeah,
over
I'll do
here.
that. And you take your
And I'll take
giant
my-
steps on the outside.
My big steps over here.
I know a lot of important people were walking up this staircase, and I gotta tell you, 2 very unimportant people are now at the top of it. How do you guards feel about that?
Couple of schmoes up here.
Couple of American schmucks.
Yeah,
Yankee
that's right.
schmucks.
We're both dipshits.
I'm one of the stupidest people to ever walk the earth, and I made it up your staircase.
Yeah.
He's even dumber than me.
That's not, how dare you?
It's a bit, I didn't mean it.
Okay, yes, I'm dumber than him.
I meant it.
You son of a bitch. This is classic castle door. Look at this thing.
Oh, I think that may go to the roof. No longer for access.
At this moment, our audio recorder picks up what sounds like a woman singing.
Yeah, I mean, this is classic castle door. Look at this thing.
Oh, I think that may go to the roof. No longer for access. It changes pitches.
Yeah, it does.
So it's not a creaky door.
What's the correlation there?
What's the correlation? We're in a castle
So
and
it's
we're
gotta
hearing
be-
a woman singing. That's what the correlation is, and there's nobody in the castle that could be singing. I think that's pretty strong. Is this not, and I know you normally harp on how EVPs are strange or like not very compelling, like they're words that you can't really make out. This is pretty crazy. Like when you consider it in the gamut of what I've offered before, I think this is
You know, sure.
clearly the weirdest one we've gotten.
It's a weird one.
It's a weird one.
Yeah, I mean, this is classic castle door. Look at this thing.
Oh, I think that may go to the roof. No longer for access.
Some video would be great. There's no correlation here. There's nothing. I know you're gonna do your thing.
Yeah. That's
I'm Jim on The Office, and I believe in ghosts.
okay, well.
Moving to 1648, Colchester Castle became connected to the Second English Civil War between the Royalist Cavaliers and the Parliamentary and Roundheads.
Roundheads is a little. That's what heads are, though.
That's a good point. That's just like saying heads.
Yeah, or hole butts. Well, we call ourselves that because we've got a little hole between our 2 butt cheeks. Well, yeah, sir, everyone does. Well, then we'll call ourselves the Roundheads. All right, I don't think you get it.
The Roundheads would eventually prevail, executing the Royalist leaders Sir George Lisle and Sir Charles Lucas on the grounds of Colchester Castle. Today, an obelisk marks the spot of their execution, where it's said that grass will not grow.
Behold, we found the obelisk.
All hail the obelisk. So where's this grass? It
I'm
doesn't
trying
grow?
Is this it?
No, this is just dirt on top of
Is it?
pavement. I bet if you put grass seed on this, you'd be fine.
Nah.
No?
In 1656, the castle would welcome perhaps its most famous specter, a man named James Parnell. Parnell was a Quaker praying in Coggles Hall Church when an altercation broke out. He was accused with blasphemy and charged £40. After his refusal to pay, he was imprisoned in the castle dungeon. During his time in prison, his jailer would make him climb a rope to reach the small amount of food they offered him. He eventually had a bad fall from this routine, most likely due to a poor diet and bad treatment. Parnell would eventually die as a result on April 10th, 1656, and was buried on castle grounds in an unmarked grave. It's said that Parnell haunts the castle dungeon, close to the eastern wall.
All right, we're gonna use a tool here that you may be able to use to speak to us.
This is gonna seem very jarring to you.
All right. Is there anybody here with us right now? I'm not getting anything. It sounds like a nightmare.
It really does. James, is this how you saw your ghost life turning out?
Talking to 2 idiots.
He said no.
No. Was that you or is that something else? Would you like me to turn it off, Shane?
Yeah. What a moment. James probably feels vindicated, thanks to you and your screaming radio.
Moving forward, in 1835, the castle's use as a prison ceased, and in 1860, the castle became a museum. It is still a museum today.
They were on top of it. They need a museum for the museum. 100 years from now, they're gonna have museums about all the museums that we saw in our lifetime.
Yeah, they may even be like 100 years before now. 2 royal jackasses sat in this spot and carelessly talked about history.
You think they're gonna have like wax figures of us?
Yeah, one of them will have a 8-foot round head.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And one of them will be this chair, but it'll be giant, and it'll say, if you sit in this chair, you'll feel the same, like you're the same size as Ryan Bergara, the littlest man of the 21st century.
Well, if it's a wax figure, they could just take this normal chair and put a little like doll here.
Yeah.
Anybody here with us? Anybody in this museum at all that wants to speak to us?
Oh, do you feel strong?
I feel like a strong man. I never feel like a strong man.
I know. Jesus, man. You need to bring with one of these everywhere you go.
Yeah, if they throw something at me now, I am protected. You would think a place of such history, loaded with trigger objects, there'd be just this place would just be bursting at the seams with spirits.
You would think that, right?
Shut up. Speaking of trigger objects, those are legitimate helmets.
Well, let's...
I mean, come on. We've been given a
This
gift.
is about as authentic as it gets, because these are...
I'll wear this one. You wear the...
Okay.
Oh man, it is so heavy.
Is it really?
Yeah. We were about to die. Salute you. You look like you have the biggest head I've ever seen. You look like you have a cone head.
This is like a thimble on an apple.
Anybody here? We hear people see you. Want to see if it's true. I'm scanning like a madman right now. I'm trying to just...
What are you hoping to see?
A ghost? Nobody? Could you say something to me right here? Close? I'll hear it later.
He'll listen to it over and over again, every night before he goes to sleep.
All right, we're moving on.
This castle is also said to be home to a ghost cat, perhaps due to the fact that Romans would entomb dead cats in their walls as a sign of good luck. Another spirit that's said to haunt the castle is the ghost of a headless nun, in addition to reports of disembodied cries. There's an area in the castle that once functioned as a chapel. Perhaps we'll find her there.
Who chopped a nun's head off?
Yeah, that's a good question. Why would you chop a nun's head off?
There's no story behind it?
Well, I mean, like, a lot of people were anti-religion back in the day.
You just chop a nun's head off?
Yeah.
I don't
mean,
agree with this.
Oh, you think that was too much? Do you think that's where they drew the line? After they were tarring and feathering people,
I thought
taking
they were
their limbs off?
I just thought they were chill with nuns. You gotta be a bad guy to chop a nun's head off.
Yeah. Is there anybody in here with us right now?
Or was that maybe the nun without a head? Well, she couldn't hear us.
Yeah.
So never mind. Is that Morse code?
Hello? What the fuck?
If you're a ghost, please tap on the window.
You hear that?
Yeah.
Do you not like us sitting in your church?
We know a lot of demons. Some of them like to follow us. We may have brought some with us.
Oh!
What? The fuck is... What is wrong with you?
Oh, fuck!
Wait. What?
Wait a second. No.
Did you just see your reflection?
No, look.
What?
I'm gonna go see what it is. What the fuck is that? There's not a tree out here, that's for sure.
It's like a flag out there.
Whew, boy, that scared the shit out of me at first, though.
Sure did.
One excerpt of dark history I skipped over occurred in the late 1600s. During that time, Essex, the county where Colchester is located, was known as the, quote, witching county of Britain, end quote. Essex saw more witches executed during this time than any of the other UK counties. Matthew Hopkins, who dubbed himself the, quote, Witchfinder General, end quote, was responsible for rooting out suspected witches and interrogating them. Because Hopkins could not explicitly torture suspected witches, he would subject them to forced standing and sleep deprivation.
You know, it's just never a good sign when you give yourself a nickname.
But you know he was walking around town going like, yeah, you know me, the Witchfinder General.
Do you think he had one, like he made himself a fake honorary Witchfinder General badge and he like wore it really, like proudly shines it every day?
And what a brave guy, by the way, making him stand.
Yeah, I could see him there just with this little weird smile on his face.
Poking him with a stick. Oh, you look like you're ready for a sit.
Yeah, that guy was a dick.
Colchester Castle was the site of many interrogations, and between 1645 and 1647, it was used to imprison over 200 accused women. Many suspected witches perished from jail fever while imprisoned at the castle, most before even going to trial. Today, those dungeons still remain, waiting for visitors. So, to finish this out, let's visit the dungeons individually to see if any will communicate with us.
This is the witch dungeon.
Very, very unnecessary.
That's what it's called.
I'm just saying they were probably weak.
Look, there he is right
feeble
there.
women. Who's that?
Matthew Hopkins.
The Witchfinder General. Good door. They really knew how to make spooky doors back then.
Yeah. So I figure we'll just lock ourselves in here one by one and try and see if we could talk to some people.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a spirit box. I'm guessing you're not gonna use that.
I'm done with the spirit box, Ryan. If there's anyone here, please reach out. I've given you a fairly high quality microphone to speak into.
At this moment, our camera catches a white orb moving away from Shane's body.
So you've resorted to orbs now.
No.
Yes,
No.
yes,
I
yes,
have no.
yes. You've resorted to
okay,
orbs.
I'm not an orb guy. Here's the thing. If I'm gonna say this is a monumental piece of paranormal evidence, no, I'm not. But I'm gonna say that if orbs are indeed real, then this might be an orb because it looks a little different than dust or bugs, which I've seen a lot of. It's moving in a certain way that to me would suggest that maybe it's an orb. I'm not saying it definitively is an orb. This is just something that some people might find interesting. So you can wipe that stupid grin off your face and just enjoy it. Enjoy that juicy orb.
I'm gonna enjoy this orb.
You take a bite out of it, it's delicious.
Dust. I cannot tell you how much I hate the spirit box. And frankly, I get it. I wouldn't want to talk to Ryan either. Not when he's coming in here all wide-eyed, sweaty. But if you are real, I invite you to really, he's gonna be in here after me. He looks a little bit like me, but shave off 4 feet. And you'll see him come in. Just keep your eyes near the ground, you'll see him.
Oh God. Just even sitting here sucks. Imagine sleeping on this floor, it's awful.
At this moment, our camera catches an orb similar to the one seen in Shane's lockdown, moving towards my body.
Are you suggesting that it planted itself inside your person?
I'm not saying that it's trying to Voltron with my spirit.
This is why you're an orb guy.
No.
Now you got an orb in you.
That's what it is.
You got orbs in your brain.
I've consumed the orb and now it's manning the controls in my brain.
Yeah, you're pushing the orb agenda.
It's moving me around like a little robot Ryan.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is just like the last one, and this one even more so, it's moving in a way that's a little different than dust and bugs that I've seen in the past.
It's not moving in a way that dust or bugs don't.
It's very prominent.
How is that not dust-like? Floating slowly in a downward trajectory.
Here we go. All right, it's about to get really loud in here. Is there anybody here with me right now? Is there anybody here with me right now that wants to say anything? Any accused witches? What is your name? Is there anybody in here? Can you tell me your name? Selena. My name's Ryan. Could you say Ryan back to me? I'm gonna turn off my box now. Oh God, it's so much worse in here when it's silent like this.
Okay, time's up.
I'm done with this. And if you're in here, Matthew, you could go fuck yourself. Goodbye, whoever was in there, if there was anybody. You'll be happy to know that the boys are gone.
Yeah, we're leaving you now. Hope you've had a good time with us.
Should we close the door and keep them in?
No, let them run free. You'd be just as bad as the jailer then.
I don't know, well, if it was... Colchester Castle has been conquered by the Ghouligans.
The Ghouligans?
That's us.
Is this a new thing?
We're the Ghouligans.
I'm into that. We killed every last ghost at this museum. Yes, we did.
That's not what we do. That's not what the Ghouligans are about.
Yeah.
You know what? You're off the Ghouligans. You're off the team.
I am the team.
Towering over the historic town of Colchester, Colchester Castle remains, waiting for those to investigate the mysteries trapped within its walls. It's unclear how many spirits remain shackled in the dungeons of this powerful castle, but our experiences tonight can attest to the notion that there's quite a few. Still, whether or not Colchester Castle is definitively haunted will remain unsolved.
Slumber party.
No. Somebody down here? This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we investigate Eastern State Penitentiary as part of our ongoing investigation into the question, are ghosts real? Back in the day, this prison used to be quite the horrible place.
Think we're gonna die here tonight?
Well, I mean, look at it visually, it's a bit much.
It's striking. Very spacious.
Horrifying, chilling, just overall not good is how I would describe it, but, you know.
I hear bats.
Cool. Should we just get this over with?
I think so.
Oh, okay, we leave it that
we
way?
could go this way?
We could go that way too. I'll just go in one of these little holes. No, I won't.
On October 25th, 1829, Eastern State Penitentiary opened its doors as part of the reformatory Pennsylvania system. A vision to create a humane prison where labor, complete solitude, and discipline together would make inmates penitent, hence the term penitentiary.
I do like that this is the basis, or this is the origin story for the word penitentiary.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Only the penitent man will pass.
Seems like at a certain point in history, they figured out that maybe locking someone in a dark room was bad for the brain.
This was this part of history.
Unfortunately, the prison went overboard in its definition of solitude. Initially designed to hold 250 prisoners, with Gothic architecture intentionally built to be intimidating to outsiders, the prison would use extreme measures to guarantee absolute solitary confinement. All prisoners stayed in their own cells and were not to interact with any other inmates. They also had extremely limited contact with prison guards and other personnel. Private outdoor areas were designed so inmates could exercise without interacting.
Were they all wearing little striped?
No, they all didn't look like the Hamburglar. This place was much more sinister.
Think that guy ever got solitary?
Yeah, but I always saw him as like a kind of funny little man.
He's a fucking criminal, Ryan.
Jesus Christ. He's stealing burgers. I don't know.
Yeah, they're not his.
Yeah, I do know when I try to steal your food, you get really upset, so.
Wouldn't you?
No, sharing is caring.
Go fuck yourself.
Inmates were allowed outside for 1 hour each day, and when they did leave their cells, hoods were put over their heads to prevent communication and knowledge of the layout of the prison. Their cells became their world. They worked in there, they ate in there, and they were not allowed to have any contact with the outside world, either in the form of letters, visits from family, or newspapers.
All right, so this is cell block 1. This is one of the original 7 cell blocks when this prison was first constructed. Ironically, these like high vaulted ceilings are supposed to kind of like mimic church architecture,
Yeah.
to invoke a feeling of God or penance.
Did it work?
No, actually it just drove them mad.
Yeah.
You'll see that soon here. They would be locked in these cells, which you can see right here. There's an interior, and then they would close this. And this was for the purpose of enforcing silence so that they couldn't even see each other.
All right,
Well-
are you gonna go in there? Experience it?
I guess.
We'll give you, what, 2 minutes in solitary?
Wait, what, me, just myself?
Yeah, it's solitary. You gotta experience it. You gotta be solitary. It's right there in the name.
That works, right?
All right, good luck.
2 minutes? Oh, God. Oh my God, I fucking hate this. I could see why this drove you mad. I don't think this was very nice or humane. What the fuck are you doing? Stop banging on the door, you dick.
You gotta be quiet.
This silence was enforced by prison guards, who for years faced allegations of abusing the prisoners, despite the system being created for the prisoners and guards to rarely interact. Some of the more grueling punishments included dunking inmates in a bath during winter, after which they were hung up on a wall so that ice formed on their skin.
Nobody came around and...
You know who actually came around? Charles Dickens.
So Charles Dickens specifically was like, oh, I'm gonna go to America, see that prison. Why
That's
is that
Australian.
Australian?
That's-
It always comes out Australian.
You can try it again.
Hello, I'm Charles Dickens.
Holy shit.
I'm here to see your prisoners.
That sounded a little bit
Is that better?
sounded
I was
better.
trying to go, I was leaning more toward Kane. If I use Kane as my touchstone, I can kind of
Kane?
Michael.
Kine. Oh, Michael Kine.
Michael Caine.
Oh, that's much easier.
Why's that prisoner got ice all over him? You got yourself a prisoner pop.
In the mad chair, prisoners would be bound so tightly that their circulation was cut off, which sometimes left them permanently injured, and some say led to amputation in some cases. An iron gag was also used, which was secured to an inmate's mouth, ripping the tongue and mouth, while hands were tied behind the back, and there's even one recorded instance in which an inmate died as a result of this iron gag.
If I was given a pad of paper and was like, what terrible things could I do to people?
Yeah.
I would not think of a device where my own leverage of my hands makes the fucking thing on my mouth tighten. That's
Yeah, I'm
fucked
just
up.
imagining an insane man. Like someone just going to the head of the prison and registering a very normal complaint, saying like, well, this one prisoner's being very loud.
Okay. Let us put a metal device in his mouth and we'll tear his tongue out.
Or it was, in fact, Jigsaw. This is his origin story. All the prison guards are sitting in a room, they're brainstorming, like, what can we do to make these prisoners fucking obey us? And all of a sudden they hear,
He's in a little chair, right?
and then all of a sudden the door opens and a little tricycle runs in. Rides.
Oh, he's on a tricycle?
He's a little tricycle rides.
Do we have a Jeep?
Gentlemen,
Oh, is that him?
I want to play a game. I got plenty of ideas for your little prison.
Here I am now, in prison.
Well, adios.
Bye. Oh, it's so silent.
Somebody down here? Oh my God.
What are you doing?
I don't know, there's something creaking down here. It sounds like someone trying to get out of the cell. Don't get scared by my long-legged friend. I heard you. Where are you?
It's probably a raccoon.
There was wood creaking down here. Down here is actually where the more period-accurate cells were. You could actually see the feeding holes. Where are you? We just want to see you. I'm not gonna freak out.
Oh, shit.
Was that, stop. Was that you? You heard that, right?
I heard it.
Dude, this place. chills. I know you're here.
There it is again.
This thing is fucking with us. You see something? Jesus. Okay, let's get the fuck out of here.
By 1866, solitary confinement at the prison would start to be phased out, and the Pennsylvania system was officially abandoned in 1913. But ironically, a prison that was once too solitary would become too crowded, opening the door to a whole new set of horrors. By 1926, there were over 1,700 inmates at Eastern State. This resulted in 2 or even 3 inmates sharing cells, some of which were originally intended to only hold 1 person. In 1933, inmates rioted against overcrowding by setting fire to cells. It's possible this could offer an explanation for the activity in cell block 12. Voices and a cackling, high-pitched laugh have been heard. Tour guides have reported that the cell doors on the 3rd floor of cell block 12 seemingly open by themselves when nobody's looking. In an episode of Ghost Hunters, the crew believed they spotted a figure running on the catwalk in cell block 12.
To test this, since this hallway goes down so far, you can see the wall down there.
Yeah.
Let's put 4 motion lights along here, and we'll call the ghosts to run towards us. Because I imagine with the historical context, maybe people are running because there was a lot of prison riots and attempted escapes. Maybe that's what we're seeing. All right, 1 light going down.
So Ryan is now going to bravely demonstrate.
Oh, fuck.
That's literally the thing you just put down and walked over there to
Shut
take.
up.
Okay.
I'm gonna wait till these turn off. Then I'll just be over here in darkness.
Okay. So, starter pistol. Ka-chow! Yes, that certainly would be something if we saw them all turn on like that.
So, I think you can see us over here. I have a light. I have a little recorder too. If you can see us over there at the end of the hall, please run or walk towards us.
Oh! What the fuck is wrong with you? What? What did you see?
Shut up.
There are over 1,000 entries recorded in the prison's death ledger, a book that documents which inmates died and by what cause in the years that Eastern State was operating. A good portion of these deaths were from sickness, such as tuberculosis. Other deaths were due to suicide or even murder. One of those murders occurred in cell block 8 in cell 49, where an inmate named Joseph Havel stabbed his cellmate George Kopp to death with a pair of scissors.
As you already know, there was a death ledger of over 1,000 deaths in here, in this prison, not this cell in particular. This is cell 49 in block 8. So this is the cell where Joseph Havel stabbed George Kopp to death with a pair of scissors. Now we're gonna, for the first time, use a gadget that's been requested for quite a bit and one I've always been interested in. It's called a spirit box. So basically it's a radio tuner that scans radio frequencies. And what it does is it scans the frequencies at a rate of 1500ths of a second. So every 1500ths of a second, it skips to a new channel, then a new channel, then a new channel. And what that does is it creates white noise that spirits are said to be able to manipulate to communicate with us.
And who says this?
Paranormalists.
Uh-huh.
It could be just radio interference that's coming through, but since it's scanning at such a fast rate, if there's words that are longer than a 1500ths of a second,
Then we know.
Then we know that that's a spirit talking to us.
Yeah,
It's gonna be very loud, watch your ears.
What? How loud? Okay.
All right, so I'm scanning at 150, so 1500ths of a second. Is there a Joseph Havel in here, or George Kopp? Either one of you. Joseph Havel, you stabbed George Kopp, why did you do that?
If you forgot maybe your human name, just look at your ghostly torso. Whoa.
What was that? Did you hear Get Out? Oh God, it's already happening. This is our first interaction with the spirit box. What do you think? Have a taste.
I gotta be honest, the spirit box doesn't really compel me very much. It's,
Do you not buy into the science of it?
no.
Well, what do you think about the fact that it's scanning radio frequencies at such a fast rate that if we hear more than one word, like 2 words or a sentence,
Or 2 vowels that put them together and suddenly you hear a word. Because you hear get out there, but really, go back to it. I'd like to hear it again.
What was that? I'm saying that's at least 1 second. At least 1 second. That means 5 channels have to work together.
Sounds like
to
2
make,
channels.
It
sounds like.
But I'm saying it has to be 5 channels working together to form that sound. We could up the speed. We go to 1/10 of a second.
Crank it.
Somebody got stabbed in here. What was your name? Say it. Oh fuck! Did you?
What did it say?
I thought I heard George. All right. That was definitely longer than 1 word. I don't know what it said, but
It said, "Are we done?"
it pretty clearly to me says, "Are we through?" Which is 3 words.
That was a joke that I made.
No.
And then it informed your opinion of it.
No, it says it.
Another active area is Block 15, the maximum security block, where there's reports of whispers and also a shadowy figure running.
I wonder if these were to open the cells.
Oh yeah.
Flip that switch. Do you think that's the murder switch?
If there's anybody here with us right now, anybody from death row that wants to talk to us.
At this moment, our audio recorder picks up what sounds like a distant scream.
I heard a scream on that side. Want to step in here?
Sure. Here we are. What was that? Did you hear that?
At this moment, our audio recorder picks up a bizarre sound.
What was that? Did you hear that?
An EVP has been heard on set, and it isn't by me.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I mean, when we're on set, I try to actively give you whatever we can.
This is embarrassing. This is embarrassing for you, I think.
You're right, it is embarrassing.
Shane Madej, leader of the Shaniacs, admitting to an EVP on set. This is,
You got us.
the SS Madej just took a crushing blow to the bow. And she's
Shaniacs,
taking,
it's over. We're
she's
done.
taking water. I don't think she's gonna make it.
The most notable of Eastern State Penitentiary's inmates was notorious Chicago mob boss L. Scarface Capone. Capone spent about 8 months in this penitentiary between 1929 and 1930 for carrying a concealed deadly weapon. Unlike most inmates, Capone's cell was actually rather nice, containing paintings, a polished desk, a radio playing waltz music, and a softly glowing desk lamp. However, things weren't as comfy as they seemed for Capone. One of the crimes Capone was believed to mastermind was the Valentine's Day Massacre, which resulted in the death of 7 men, one of whom was a man known as Jimmy Clark. Capone's contemporaries inside Eastern State reported hearing Capone screaming and begging for someone named Jimmy to get out and leave him alone. Capone's cell has been restored to the state it was when he lived in it and can still be visited today.
I'm a little disappointed that he's haunted.
What?
He was haunted by things. I don't know, tough guy. Murdered a lot of people.
Doesn't matter. No one's ghost proof.
I'm ghost proof.
You're not ghost proof. You're just an idiot that refuses to see proof.
I'm ghost proof, baby.
No, you're not. So apparently when Al Capone was staying here, cellmates had heard him crying out for a man named Jimmy Clark, one of the 7 men that were killed in the Valentine's Day Massacre, which he is known to mastermind.
Al, it's me. I'm also from the Prairie State, land of Lincoln. If you're here, please let us communicate with you. We want to know if you, I guess we're asking a ghost if you were haunted by a ghost when you were here. We're asking if there's a double ghost situation. Yeah. Are you still haunted by the ghost of Jimmy, even though you yourself are now a ghost? Ryan?
I'm sure that if a ghost died, if he died and then became a ghost, he would see Jimmy and they'd probably like hashed it out over a couple
he was
brews.
like, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
And then Jimmy was like, to be fair,
a ghost can't haunt a ghost. It
you
doesn't make
did
any
murder
sense.
me.
Yeah, true, yeah.
You know.
All right, Al, I know this is gonna be weird, but you could use this box to talk to us. All right, Al. This is gonna make my mind melt. Hello, Al. My name is Ryan. Could you say Ryan? Could you say my name, Al? Did you say shut up?
I think it said Shane.
It sounded like you said shut up. What is going through your mind right now, Shane?
Not a lot.
Do you not like me saying Scarface? Oh, fuck.
Did you say no?
It sounded like no. Oh, no. My mind's already starting to melt. Oh, God. Okay, that was just radio. That was just the radio that sounded like, maybe. Gotta sound like no Ryan. Fuck, God damn it. Okay, my mind's starting to melt. What color are the jackets we're wearing? That sounded like more than one word. This is scanning through channels at a rate of 1500ths of a second. So in theory, that should be a voice of a ghost, not a radio. Brown and white. No, it's brown and white. He answered my question. Right now, the masses of the Shaniacs are scurrying into the darkness right now because they have no idea what's happening. They're seeing truth. Dude, that sounded like Look at These Two, but...
That sounded like Will Smith. Is Will Smith dead? Has anyone checked the news?
This prison also had its fair share of escape attempts. One unsuccessful attempt involved 12 men who took turns using spoons and flattened cans to dig a 31-inch hole in a wall of cell 68, eventually burrowing 12 feet underground.
This is the entryway for the Great Escape that ultimately failed. But inside here, they took turns using little spoons and tools to...
At this moment, our audio recorder picks up what sounds like a human whistle.
There were people working at that prison when we were there.
There was a maintenance man, and there was the lady who was helping guide us around to show us the place so we don't get lost. The lady was silent. The maintenance man, if I recall, was told to stop working and stay far away. I think this is obviously a ghost.
I just thought you were raising your standards this season.
This is the highest of standards here. It's pretty amazing. They took, I heard 30-minute shifts to just dig this tunnel. How the fuck did they do this in silence?
One of them was probably singing or playing jacks or something.
What do you think he was? Not digging a tunnel in here, don't mind me, just a lot of noise.
No more digging, just a lot of singing. Don't come in here and look around.
Nothing weird going on in here.
As these inmates were recaptured, they were moved to cell block 13, the punishment block, often referred to as the hole. The hole now consists of 4 solitary cells, measuring just 4 by 8 feet. Inmates would be locked in these dark, dank, and poorly ventilated cells for up to a month.
This is the hole.
Why does this happen so often? It ends with a hole or a pit.
Well, I mean, this is the big bad cells of the entire prison. This is where they put people who were being punished.
Okay.
Is punitive isolation down here.
All right.
Oh, you're just hopping right into it.
Well, it's a hole. What else can you do?
Oh, shit. Oh, boy.
I think I heard rats down here.
I also read that they used to crank the heat up here so people would just sweat. Oh my God, this is awful.
This looks like a place where a serial killer would keep his victims.
Are these the cells?
Yeah, I'd say so.
This is where they punished probably the most brutal and violent criminals.
The problem is if there's something that attacks us down here, I'm going to hit my head on the ceiling and my skull will smash.
Well, that sucks. So should we go in there and do a little session?
Yeah.
Or... Oh, God.
Yeah, I don't think there's an or in this situation.
Oh, there is, and I don't like it, but I'm gonna suggest it anyway.
What's that?
In the spirit of maybe getting more evidence and something being not as scared, what if we went in there alone?
Yeah, that's fine.
I hate that you were so game for that. This is ill-advised.
All right, if there are any unquiet spirits down here with some unfinished business, now would be the time to communicate.
My heart's beating so fast right now. Oh, man.
All right, buddy. Keep your wits about you.
Shut up.
You're gonna hear a lot of little drip droppies, but those are just, the stalactites working overtime.
Just get out of here so I can get this over with.
Huh? Okay. It was fun to imagine people who have been in there in the past.
Who is that? Oh my my God, my eyes are starting to play tricks on me. There's no one there. There's no one there. It's just your eyes. It's the dark. Oh my God, I think I see something in front of me. No. It's just my eyes. It's just my eyes. It's just tricks. Let's get the fuck out of here. Boop, 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 boop. Well, Eastern State Penitentiary, it's been fun.
With Eastern State Penitentiary's history of death, punishment, and misery, many believe the restless spirits of inmates still remain trapped within its walls. Having spent a night roaming its halls, I can't deny that we weren't alone. But whether or not Eastern State Penitentiary is definitively haunted will remain unsolved.
Where are we going, big guy?
London.
Looks like Shane's driving to the hotel. Wait, he's not. Here it is, the Viaduct Tavern, the historic Viaduct Tavern.
Incredible floral display out here.
Yeah, impressive architecture. Kind of strange that there's something a little more sinister that maybe lurks beneath.
So poetic. Well, let's
Let's go.
grab a pint.
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we investigate Viaduct Tavern in London, England, as part of our ongoing investigation into the question, are ghosts real? It would be foolish to come all the way down to London and not investigate a pub, so here we are at this pub with some very interesting history, I might say.
Let it flow.
What do you mean by that?
The history and the ale.
I thought you were talking about the ale.
I'm talking about the ale.
Yeah, that being said, why don't we pour ourselves a cold one?
Oh, okay. Off to the races.
In 1869, the Holborn Viaduct was erected in London, England, and was considered a feat of engineering at the time. Viaduct Tavern was opened later that same year, according to the tavern's own history. Nestled between many historic locations in a bustling area of London, Viaduct Tavern is plenty historic in its own right. The tavern originally opened as one of London's many gin palaces, and is the last surviving gin palace from the Victorian era you can find in London.
Gin palace.
Yeah.
It's a gin, they just called it a gin palace.
They were very common back in the day. I'm about to get into it.
People loved gin for a long time.
You'll see why they love gin. There's a reason why.
Gin was popular among poor Londoners due to the fact that legislation in the 19th century caused gin to be cheaper than beer. Gin palaces were designed to be as opulent as could be, with rose and gold details, large windows, and gas lamps illuminating the palace. The tavern had a diverse clientele, including the working class, lawyers, and government officials, as well as criminals due to the nearby prisons. A cashier's booth where the landlady would exchange cash for gin tokens is still available for viewing. But before we go over there, let's have another pint.
Cheers.
Ryan, I think you should probably go in the box. Do you want me to go in the box? Or do you want to go in the box?
I'm not scared of this landlady.
All right.
Yet. Oh shit.
Good luck.
All right. If there's anybody in here with me right now, can you say something? Perhaps the old landlady who exchanged gin tokens because you didn't trust your staff? Can you say something? Oh god damn it, my light just fucking turned. I just
Give me
replaced
gin.
the batteries.
I
in this
want
fucking
my
light.
gin.
Shut up.
Ma'am.
I'm gonna give you 1 minute to talk. All right, here we go. Oh shit, my fucking light keeps turning. I just replaced the fucking, oh god damn it. Well, there we go. Is there anybody in here with me right now?
Gin, ma'am.
Ignore my tall, idiotic counterpart.
I need me gin.
All right, 30 seconds. If you could not turn my light out again, god fucking damn it. And I'm out. I'm out of here. Peace.
Another historical artifact is a hole in a painting on the wall. It's believed that this hole was made by an off-duty soldier during World War I. The soldier may have helped himself to one too many gin drinks, and the hole was the result of a bullet going through the painting.
As you can see, this painting is left over from the Gin Palace era. And there's the hole. Actually, let me just examine that a little bit.
Examine the hole. Oh, that is prominent. That's a prominent hole.
That does look like a bullet. Oh, there's a ceiling spot right there. You could see it.
And then up here.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So,
Pachoo. Pow!
right into the back of this lovely woman in a blue dress.
You almost startled me with your realistic gunfire
I know,
noises.
it was like a Sam Peckinpah movie.
Why don't you reach out to the soldier who shot that?
Oh,
There is a smoother way to do this. Oh, should I sit next to you?
wait, hang on. Yeah, I got it.
Whoever put a hole in this painting, do you realize that was extremely dangerous and you could have probably killed somebody inside this bar?
He doesn't care. He was
I'm
full of gin.
I'm talking to him.
Oh, you didn't care? You were full of gin, right?
We're gonna give you 1 minute to explain yourself.
What are you expecting to hear on this tape? Like a, well, see, here's the thing. Hey, come on, speak up. Do ghost stuff.
The bar is also said to be haunted by a rather thirsty ghost who steals people's drinks when they aren't paying attention.
Come on, move it.
This is, I feel like this is very representative of this entire series.
If there's a ghost in here, can you move our drinks? Oh, look at this painting over here. I'm not.
Oh, I see
I'm
what we're
kind-
doing.
Oh, look at the painting over there. Wow. It
Our
would
backs
really-
are certainly turned.
It'd be a shame if someone did something to my drink.
What's interesting is when you look at this painting, you can't see the beer that you're drinking behind
Yeah,
you.
No reflection at all. Perfect opportunity for someone who calls himself.
Okay, let's turn around in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so are we, is that it? Ghosts aren't real? We're done?
No.
End of the series?
That's a very hard thing to ask for. Ghosts, like I've said this to you a million times, ghosts are basically energy. And for them to manifest that in a physical manner, it takes a lot of energy. When there's such a small field gauge to build from, it's going to be very hard for them to take a sip of a cold one.
Have a drink. I know you need it. It's been a rough season for the Bugaras.
Aside from its rowdy history as a gin palace, this bar may be haunted for much darker reasons. As mentioned before, Viaduct Tavern is nestled between many historic locations. Just a few feet north of Viaduct Tavern on Giltspur Street stood Giltspur Street Compter, a debtor's prison that was demolished in 1854. Across Newgate Street loomed the notoriously dreadful Newgate Jail. Living conditions were horrific inside Newgate, with some prisoners sleeping on the floor, while more nefarious criminals were locked in cells underground. As a result of these horrendous conditions, sickness and disease ran rampant throughout the facility.
I assume most prisons in the 1800s weren't 4 stars.
Yeah, not a lot of codes to be held there.
No.
Located just outside the doors of Viaduct Tavern was the former gallows of Newgate Jail, where public executions were held at 8 o'clock in the morning as the bells of the nearby St. Sepulchre Church rang. Executions became sort of a morbid social event, with crowds of rowdy and drunk people gathering to watch as a form of entertainment or fascination. Some people would even arrive the night before to ensure a good view. In fact, one pub that still stands today across the street from Viaduct, called Magpie and Stump, would have viewing rooms that people could rent out, and even offered an execution breakfast.
I love it. I love everything about it.
I knew you would. I knew
really
you would enjoy
do.
that. Holy sh!
I really do love it. Get a little breakfast. It's like going to Disneyland. You know how people in Disneyland get like a little restaurant seat right by so they can see the parade?
Yeah.
This is like that, but you watch a man's neck break.
Okay. So this spot right here, in particular, this fountain, is said to be the former site of the gallows where they had the public executions. It's not confirmed that this is the actual site, but many people believe it to be. Some place it kind of in the street here. Either way, you can see the Viaduct Tavern
Right there.
If
Clear as day.
whatever that building used to be, if it was a building, in fact, it would have a great view of, you know,
All the people dying.
Newgate Prison right there, Giltspur Street Compter right there. All of them are on a collision course to our old friend Viaduct Tavern.
We should head back in there probably and drink. This has been fun. I love the history.
Well, we
here.
can't really do an EVP here because
That's
there's a
fine.
bunch of cars and shit.
We'll be okay.
Is there anybody here?
Nope. We should go get more gin.
Is there anybody here?
Let's go get a beer. Come on.
Let's visit the two most active areas of the building, starting with the upstairs loft. In 1982, the daughter of the landlord was reading the paper one Sunday afternoon in the upstairs loft. As she was sitting on the couch, she reportedly heard footsteps coming quickly up the stairs. The door of the room swung open, and the newspaper was grabbed out of her hands and thrown on the floor. The door swung shut, and she could hear footsteps descending the stairs. Afterward, the landlord's daughter searched the pub and couldn't find anyone around. In 1999, two electricians were working upstairs at the tavern when one claimed he felt a tap on his shoulder without a sign of anyone. A few minutes after this odd experience, the two reportedly witnessed a roll of carpeting rise into the air and fall back to the floor. Some believe that a murdered prostitute is responsible for these strange occurrences. Regardless of the source, it would seem that there is indeed a poltergeist of sorts lurking in the loft above the tavern.
There we go.
All right, so now we're gonna go to the upstairs lofts.
Very sparkly.
What?
Down here, this is a sparkly. It's a sparkly fucking thing.
Oh, from the old days of the Gin Palace. It's
Ornate.
gold.
Stairs are a little wonky.
I think you're just drunk.
Nope. These stairs are wonky.
So right now we're in the upstairs loft. We have motion lights that are triangulating our position right now, just in case something moves up here, because things move up here all the time, like carpets and newspapers.
You're still going for these things.
It's gotta work eventually. If there's anything up here with us right now, there's lots of things to move. Can you move something for us? We were downstairs, we had a couple pints, we've been having a good time. Why don't you join in the fun?
Go on. Go on then. Is Santa Claus here maybe?
If there's anything here right now, can you say something? Can you move something? There's a chandelier above us, can you move that? Stop that. Well, that's that.
After I say, well, that's that, our audio recorder picks up a voice responding, no.
That's that. That's that.
Throwing in the towel, huh?
We're going downstairs. No, we're going to the most haunted part of the building.
Oh, okay.
The most haunted part of the building is undoubtedly the tavern cellar. In the 1980s, a landlord was in the cellar when the lights suddenly went out. The cellar door slammed shut behind him, and he then heard, quote, "There's just us two down here now," end quote.
We're going to the cellar.
All right. Don't fall down these stairs.
Oh, that's a smell.
The Viaduct Tavern goal.
It's jail, you idiot.
Jail? Who spells it that way?
That's how they used to spell it back in Old English times.
You're gonna end up in jail.
Oh boy. I feel like my bravery is gonna stop at this point. Oh, it is cold in here.
Brisk, baby. So where are we going now? We're in a
So-
little beer hut.
This is the cellar door, or that's the cellar door that we were just at. This is where the landlord had the door closed on them.
It's a heavy door.
Okay, let's do this. Let's see.
You want to do a door test?
Let's do a door test.
Boy, that door.
Yeah, I can't imagine how that door could close by itself. That's a real mystery.
Some paranormal experts believe that running water tends to carry energy with it, and therefore catalyze paranormal activity. And this is exacerbated by underground sources of water. One of the rooms in the cellar flooded frequently until they finally realized that there was an underground stream below the cellar.
In this door right here, this is where the room was constantly flooding. And as I was saying before, underground sources of water may conduct some energy.
A little trouble with that door there?
Shut up. Oh wait, this is the wrong room.
Okay. All right.
All right, sorry, it's this room. Let's do that again.
So this door then?
And it's because they found in here, in this back room, there was actually a valve. This is not it either.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Hold on. Maybe it was in here.
Okay, let's go back into this door then.
Shut up. Oh yes, it was in this room. Oh, this room does feel a little weird actually.
You get vibes in here?
Yeah, I don't like this room.
Get mad vibes in here?
Well, if you look right there, there's a hatch.
Yeah, where's that go?
That's the river underground.
Oh, you can hear it.
We should reach out here.
Oh, sure.
Let's do a spirit box section. Maybe this will help you talk to us. Can you say where you're at? Can you say what prison you were in?
This is fucking stupid.
That sound, okay, you're gonna think this is stupid, but that sounded like Compter. Look at his face. It sounded like Compter, I'm not gonna lie, it did. You know what? Let's do this individually in the cells.
The most famous part of this cellar, and the tavern in general, is the cell room. It's long been part of the tavern's lore that the cells located in this cellar are the last remaining cells of the former Newgate jail across the street. However, historical records don't seem to indicate that. The tavern itself claims that the cells were associated with the Giltspur Street Compter, located just next door. Some believe the cellar cells are merely a storage space for the pub. Regardless, these cells are definitely wedged between two famous London prisons, and are reportedly the most active part of the tavern. So there's only one way to find out.
Well, in you go.
Okay, thanks for all these. Can you close the door behind me? Okay.
Get your big ass legs in there.
Here I am. Sort of defeats the point because I can't really see anything. Sure is dark in here. If there's a spirit in here, maybe someone who wants to come out and play, I'll give you 3 minutes and you can chat me up, as you like to say in this country. Ghosts, ghosts. Make it stink. Look, I'm gonna level with you, ghosts. It's been a really rough season for Ryan Bergara and all his little followers. They can't find any ghosts.
Maybe you should shut your fat mouth for the last 30 seconds.
Okay.
Ghosts aren't real.
All right, time to move on to your old friend Spirit Box.
I love the spirit box. All right, ghouly ghouls. Let's do something fun. I got your little speaker cracking here, so I'm gonna ask you some questions. I'll ask you to respond. Do whatever you can. Hi, my name is Shane. Can you say my name? No, so that's a big no on that one. Can you say Ryan's name? Do you hate the spirit box as much as I do? Also nothing, hearing nothing, a lot of nothing.
You're free to come out, you big lummox. Get out of here. What'd you think? Want to turn that off?
This has been a huge waste of time. You got this?
I think. I'm just gonna keep telling myself these weren't real jail cells, but they may have been. Who knows?
Before you go in,
Scale of 1 to 10. 10 being I'm about to poop myself. 1 being I got it, bro. Where you at?
About like a 7 or 8.
Yeah, huh, close
Well,
to
I haven't
pooping.
even got the door closed yet.
All right.
Oh my God. Oh,
We just have fun here, you know?
fuck. Hello? Oh God, I really don't like this.
Too bad.
Is there anybody in here with me? Is there anybody in here with me? All right, I'm gonna use something that you can maybe use the energy from to maybe talk to me, so it's gonna be loud at first. Here we go. Use this to talk to me. Is there anybody here right now? Is there anybody here with me right now? What was that? What? Is it, I can't understand you. Can you say that again? Downstairs. Why are you down here? Did you actually spend time down here, or is this not a prison? What? Is there...
But ghosts. My word. What a waste of time.
I'm coming out. I think I'm good.
Okay.
I'm so happy.
Was it? Oh, it's chilly. I got a little blast of cold air
It's
from
not
there.
fun in there.
No?
Shall we get out of here?
Yeah, here's your toys.
It's not a toy. It's
It's
a
your
tool.
magical toys.
It's a tool.
I didn't do that on purpose.
Should we leave?
Yeah.
Want to pick that up? Oh, you son of a bitch. Just stepped over it. Wait for me. Don't leave me down here.
Bye.
There's no denying the Viaduct Tavern's front row seat to London's dark history, and even the history of the tavern itself would lend itself to a potential haunting. All things considered, there's no telling what spirits may walk through the tavern doors to mingle with the living. But in the end, whether or not Viaduct Tavern is definitively haunted will remain unsolved.